Recently, I came across this TikTok by a lady by the name of Morgan McCain, a very beautiful lady who seems to be extremely talented. And of course, with that great personality and that zeal, it has taken her to a country like Japan. And she seems to love it, whatever she's doing there. However, there has been some problems in dealing with people from Japan, notably Japanese men and foreign men. And this is what she had to say.
As a black woman living in Tokyo, I definitely need to speak on this. I 100% agree that I feel like for us, we get more creepy interactions than people that are like way lighter than us. I've had an Uber Eats delivery guy screenshot my address and keep it with him. And then one day he followed me home and showed me the address and was like, "This is you, right? This is you, I've had a guy follow me onto a train car. I switched 2 different train cars and he followed me on each one, stood over me, and then watched as I got on Instagram and followed me and then sat down next to me and said, "Hey, I got your Instagram and I followed you." But the crazy part about it is all of my crazy experiences where I'm either followed or harassed or whatever has all been by foreigners, not guys from America, but guys from different places. I feel like the Japanese men just see me as exotic and they just stare at me like this from afar. But the foreign men, ooh, they be bold.
So that was foreign men. And you can kind of hear that she said, I don't get these weird situations from black men from America. That's only happening with guys that are foreigners and sometimes Japanese men. But then, of course, she started to deal with people who are from the African American community in America. And as a woman that lives in Japan who might feel a little bit out of place dating a Japanese man, it seems like she would love to have the opportunity to date an African American man. And that's what she would like to do. She would like to date somebody from her community that she can understand. She's pretty, she's good looking, and she's full of zeal. But when she comes across black men from the diaspora or from America, she has this to say about it.
Something that has greatly disappointed me since I've been living here is the amount of that I've seen in Tokyo. And sorry to say, but it's mainly from black men from America. The way that I have to watch y'all treat me and my fellow black sisters like shit, but treat the Japanese women all delicately like they're special flowers is insane. The amount of times that I've met black men from America who give people the N-word here is crazy. I recently went to a club and this black guy was asking me how my experience is here dating, and I was telling him, and then he was like, "Well, I'm in heaven here because, you know, they like fetishize us, so they be worshiping us and doing whatever they want, so I'm in heaven." What? None? Or the black men that'll be talking to me, and then when we get done, they're like, "I enjoyed the conversation. You're so cool. I love black women. I worship black women. I wish there was more in Tokyo." And then we'll go over to their Japanese girlfriend and then talk shit about us. When black American men get over here, the be on 10. Y'all need to pipe down because they do not give a about y'all.
Now, this video has caused a lot of ruckus, and she said she has been very disappointed. We, in fact, had to bleep out that C word. But basically, she is upset that African American men are dating women from Japan, in Japan, and when they see other women there, they are pretty much putting her in the friend zone. And then it's like, "Oh, sis, I love black women. I love this. I love that." But basically, all of the black women out there are being kept into sister mode as black men explore their opportunities with Japanese women. And she doesn't understand why, but I can tell you why that is. It's the same thing that I saw happening in Poland. You see, a lot of times in Poland, and this was a lot of Africans, so I would just use a situation that is very similar. When black men were in Poland, they became exotic. Black women became exotic also, but they became exotic almost for another reason. And that reason tend to be curiosity, if you know what I mean. In other words, like, "Oh, well, as a Polish guy or a European guy, I've never been with a black woman before." So a lot of women complain about that. But a lot of the men that were being curious, a lot of women were looking at getting into full-blown relationships with them. So those men who are coming from Africa or even from America that happen to be black, they were getting the same sort of femininity for long-term relationships from Polish women that, you know, maybe Polish men would be getting. Whereas the black women, when they were interacting with Polish men, were not getting that same respect. It seemed that to them, according to the ones I talked to, they were a class lower, and it appeared that maybe the Polish guys would have a hard time taking them home and explaining to their parents that they selected a black woman over their fellow Polish women because that would be a threat to the culture. While some of the Polish women kind of felt that they would have a better opportunity with dating foreigners, and they could have more of an opportunity to have some more freedom in the relationship. So now she mentioned that these black men are saying that they're exotic and these women are doing exactly what they want them to do. And she says that, well, that is selloutery. And she says like the Japanese women are really, feminine, really humble and all of that. And basically these Japanese women are very nice. Well, that's what happens when there's competition. Now, again, if you're a woman and you have, let's say, the demeanor that she has, and some of the Japanese women tend to be a little bit more submissive, or they tend to be a little bit more giving, then what they're going to say is, well, how can you compete with the Japanese woman? And again, for somebody who's pro-black like me, that is my only option, is the black woman, right? But you have black men out there who don't see it from that perspective. A lot of black men see it from the perspective of competition. So what does that mean? That means if the Japanese woman is a better opportunity for them over the beautiful black woman like her, then what are they going to do? They're going to go with the Japanese woman because they felt like, well, my time is limited here. I have an opportunity here, just like women have the opportunity in America. In America, women have an advantage. But now in these places, black men have the advantage. So when you have the advantage, what do? You use it. So instead of understanding why do these men don't want to deal with you or why they want to deal with the Japanese women, what you should probably try to do is be competitive instead of complaining about the fact that these men want to deal with these women. For an example, when women say, I don't want to deal with guys because they are broke or they don't have anything, we understand that, right? And we understand that the reason why she doesn't want to deal with me is, number one, I might not be her type, I'm overweight, I don't have money, or I just don't have any game. So there are certain things that we need to work on. And men understand that inherently. We inherently understand it. It's almost like autonomic, right? But when women have these issues where men have the ability to choose and women are dating them and women are coming after them and they are not being chosen, it's because of something else. When women have their preferences and black men have their preferences too. And I'm not trying to say that this is a right thing that these black men are doing, but she even said the black man told her, listen, I'm in heaven. These women are treating me like X, Y, and Z. Maybe I don't need to have a $10,000 a month to date a Japanese lady. Maybe I don't need to have a nice car, or maybe I don't need to have all of this. So if that's the case, you need to be able to see what it is that what these women are doing and what you can do to match their energy. Now, she's a very attractive lady, but she does kind of have that sort of aggression. And that aggression for some brothers is going to be like, maybe in the States, I might put up with that. But over here, I don't have to put up with that. And I don't even want to even give you the opportunity to go ahead and try to go further with it because it's just a turnoff. And again, like a lot of ladies out there who are willing to do cook and clean and stuff like that and do things like that, you're not going to be able to beat them in those countries. If you are an African-American woman and you go to Poland and you're dealing with Polish women, and I can just tell you from the outside looking in, most sisters will have a hard time trying to get a black man to be faithful to them in Poland or Germany or any of those places like that in Europe. It's just not going to be easy for you to do so because those women over there are going to be, very nice. Sometimes they're perfect, but they're going to be willing to clean, to cook, to do nice things. Whereas you might not want to do that, or you might have a little bit more issue with that, or you might be a little bit more aggressive. And whatever the case may yield, but when these guys have seen a different alternative to what they've grown up in and they've been in Japan and other places, then yeah, they're going to take that chance to do what is they're doing. And a lot of times women don't like it, but that's just the reality. The same thing happens in China or in the Philippines or in Brazil. Guys have different opportunities, so they're going to take an opportunity because maybe in America they wouldn't have this opportunity. Same thing happens in Kenya or in Uganda or in Rwanda or Ethiopia. Whenever men have an opportunity to choose, they're going to choose. And you don't have to like it, but that's what's called having a competitive advantage. And they have it right now they are going to do it. And the only way to beat somebody with a competitive advantage is to develop your own competitive advantage. And I'm here to tell you, and even though I love to see black women and black men together, hey, some black men feel like they don't owe you anything. They don't owe you a date, just like you don't owe them a date. But the problem is that they can exercise that. That becomes a big problem. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.